Hey, good morning, guys. How's everybody doing? I need the video. I need to be able to turn my video on. Team, let's go. All right, there I am. Good morning. How's everyone doing out there? I'm waiting for my boy. I think he'll be on shortly. I was just talking to him. Aloha, Patrick. Welcome. Let's go. It's a new week. A lot of news happening over the weekend as usual. Looks like the Chinese are starting to try to soften up their hardline stuff, but we'll see.
China.
China, oil's ripping. China stocks are ripping, but we'll get
China. Yeah,
China.
so
It's more like
so
China.
so I'm a junkie, obviously, in trading. So I told
Okay.
myself a couple weeks ago, if you know me, I said no China ADRs. I kept getting burned in them,
Me too.
you know?
Yeah.
So like I made a lot of money back in the day on names like JD, Neo, stuff like that. And then probably a couple months ago, I was losing my ass on them. Like every time
Right.
I buy calls in them, they would gap down like 6%, right? So it was a shit
Yeah.
show.
Right.
And then last week, if anyone in the chat has even heard of this stock, if you want to laugh, it's
Hmm.
called RLX.
I know that stock.
Okay. I just shared the screen if you guys see it. It's a vape, uh, China-based e-vapor company. What the hell is that, right? Probably the worst chemicals in the world for you. But I bought calls in it. The stock has gone from $1 to 260, and today it's up another almost 20 cents, almost 10% pre-market. And
Wow.
remember the other week too, I was talking about XPEV and all the auto China names, Neo.
Yeah.
Those were up like another 25% the other day. I mean, it you want to talk about the casino. Trade some China ADRs, baby.
Those are penny Chinas. It's even crazier. I mean, you're talking to me about $1 Chinese. I mean,
Yeah, I did some PDD calls, so that's gonna be good. It's up $3. It's like a legit.
that's a real company for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
For
So that's
sure.
good.
So, how was your weekend, Lance? What's going on?
Um,
What happened?
dude, so two things. One, I got coyotes. So I come home with my buddy. We come from the gym last night, and I look by my cows and I see this fucking like big old dog looking thing. And I'm like, what the hell? He obviously can't eat a cow. But I'm like, that's a coyote. And my buddy's like, oh shit, I've never seen one before. So I run inside to get my shotgun. So I'm walking out the front, my shotgun, hunting this coyote down, chasing it, and it keeps running away from me. So it goes to my neighbor's house. I don't want to show up on his property with a shotgun, just aiming it like that.
That's
So by the
Florida
time
man. That's Florida man style.
that's Florida man stuff for real, right?
Yeah.
So I couldn't get an angle on the coyote. It was behind the neighbor. He has like an RV and went in the pasture. There's like wetlands and pasture over there. So I couldn't get it. So I got a trail cam. I got some ring cams. Tonight I'm going to be camping out on my balcony and stuff because my chickens got attacked the other week. And I think it was the coyote. So I'm going to be sitting out in the balcony hunting down. But then you want to hear more Florida man stuff. We go out on the boat in the lake, see about a 6-foot gator. And I'm like, so my buddy is trying to catch it with his fishing lure out there. And I'm like,
Why?
dude, I got it
Why?
because we want to get rid of it. So
Oh yeah.
so we were gonna catch it,
And
hook it, and then I was gonna go in and get the shock. Well, I can't say that, but we're gonna get rid of it somehow. But I was thinking that I was like, this
I
is
had the
true
opposite
Florida man
weekend.
stuff.
We had an art. We had like we had this thing called Art Basel in Miami. For those people who don't know, it was invented by UBS, the Swiss bank, as a way to launder money to circumvent the United States tax system. I think they started like 15 years ago or something, and so it's turned into the world's largest art fair. But there's mega parties. All the celebrities of the earth, like Leo DiCaprio, They were all in Miami last weekend. So my wife and I just went and had like a fancy dinner, looked at some art. I don't really understand art, like one person's treasure trove for me. It's too esoteric for me. I'm too numbers and like there has to be some sort of like measurable value. So subjective, but people are dropping like a lot of money for like a chair that's got a little bit of spray paint on it. They literally had like a piece of shit, like a a sculpture of a piece of shit that sold for like 50 G's or something. That was in the COVID times though,
Do
not
you
now.
remember
But there
the
was still a lot of
banana?
people out. Like the economy looked good if you went to Art Basel. Anyways,
Do you remember the banana painting, aka
yes,
hang the banana? And
yes, it was an actual banana
it was actually a banana. And now I guess
stuck to a paper.
the new thing now, have you seen it? Is where the people go and they throw like paint, or they ruin art pieces in galleries.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the crazy
those are the
woke.
climate extremists, man.
Yeah. Why
Idiots.
though?
They're
Why are
ruining,
they?
but they're not even, but they're ruining like masterpieces. Like they're attacking like the Dutch masters' paintings and stuff that
Yeah, but
really matters.
why do they ruin it though? Like those are
They
the
ruin
people that
everything,
love
bro.
art.
They ruin everything. It's the whole point. The whole
Just
point, the
because
essence.
it's expensive, or
Their souls are tainted. They're miserable inside. I don't know. I don't know. They're trying to make a point, but it's for me, it's disgusting. But anyways, let's move to the stocks. Let's move to the stocks. So we've got we've got a week that's got some earnings, right? I mean, we've got still some decent earnings this week. Some big numbers. Toll Brothers, I think, is tomorrow. We've had let me share the screen. Yeah, let's look at this shit.
yeah, I was gonna pull up FenViz, but yeah, pull up Bloomberg. Might as
All
well.
right.
It's a lot
So we've
nicer.
got Toll Brothers tomorrow after the market.
Ooh, MDB, Mongo.
Yup. MDB
Ooh,
after the market. We've got DocuSign after the close. What is that, Thursday?
ooh, wow. There's a docu.
Chewy,
What are
Costco.
I wonder what the short floats on Chewy and DocuSign right now are. Same with
Let's look.
RH. Yeah,
Let's
I would
look.
say Docu's got to be pretty high.
DocuSign.
I actually like DocuSign long. I know it's been beat down at the butt, but God,
Short interest.
46 a
Very
share.
short. Nah, it's small. Percentage of float,
Oh wow, that's
6.8%.
not bad at all.
It's
Actually,
nothing.
I thought
Yeah.
it'd be like near 15.
Nope.
That's not bad at all. What about Chewy? It's got to be a little higher. The chart of Chewy actually looks pretty good. People love their pets.
Chewy's high.
Wow,
26%.
26.
Yeah, that's a squeezy, baby. That's a squeezer. Let's look at the chart. Let's look at the chart and then let's look at the options on Chewy, just to get an idea of what's
I,
possible.
I'm already. I like that chart.
Not bad.
No, I mean I
Breaking
wish.
out. Breaking out
Yeah,
actually. So what was the high in August? The high in August was, what was that? 52 almost?
51.90,
50,
basically
yeah,
52.
52-ish. $7 from here. Look at the options.
Dude, the implied move is only $5.50 or so. It's very, very light.
You want to look at the weeklies or the monthlies?
Yeah, weeklies. Heck, I ain't going out to
You don't
monthlies.
even
Come on.
trade monthlies anymore, do you?
Not if it's earnings, because if you're wrong, you're wrong. You're dead
Okay,
if you're
so these
wrong.
things are trading. These things are trading what? $43 for the 45s. We said 50. I don't know. It's kind of exciting, but
It's not that expensive, I feel like, for Chewy.
yeah. But
I guess
how high do you
last
think the
quarter though, the
stock can
stock
go?
barely moved.
Where do you think the stock's going to go? I mean, like, what's a blowout going to do for the stock? Let's look at the history.
50, 52.
Yeah. So
Sell off probably 40.
so you can
$5.
so you can double your money. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I like doubling my money, but it's like a 50-50 ball. I want a chance to triple my money, right?
Well, I think if it goes over 50, it goes over 52, and then you could get a squeeze after that. The only
Yeah.
problem is the reason why the market makers, if you
It's a
go
good
back to the
smooth, right?
daily
Mm-hmm.
chart, the
Mm-hmm.
reason why the market makers probably haven't jacked up implied vol that much and
Yeah.
aren't expecting a huge move. If
Mm-hmm.
you look at last quarter, the stock only
Mm-hmm.
moved down about $2.
Well, that's what I was about to show everybody. I know people
Yeah.
like this segment, this portion of the Crush the Open. So, but look at what this stock has done. It had a 24% upside move. So if it squeezes, it could really go.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. A little,
Yeah.
what is it, 12% implied move or so is not that much.
It was like 11 and change. Yeah. Yeah. Almost
Yeah.
12. You're right. So, Jesus, a 25% move on a $45 stock. Look, the stock could easily trade about close to 60,
Yeah.
58.
That's a big
Damn.
move. What are the
Yeah.
58 calls and the weeklies? Or I mean, pardon me, the 50 calls are only $1.30. It's actually not bad. Looking at Chewy, Don. It's not bad at all. You got big Costco reporting too.
That is a good, yeah.
What happened at Costco the other day?
They just got
Got its
hammered.
butt kicked.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they were hitting retailers pretty bad, like, big box retailers, but I don't
Yeah, I'll pull
know.
up Costco here.
Let's look at Costco.
Look at that Costco
There you
chart
go.
from 540 to 494 in 2 days.
That's one of my favorite companies, long term. Full disclosure. Just
Well,
look, go back like 10 years of this stock. This stock has been a beast.
well, yeah. Look at
That's a beast.
you know what? Did BJ's report yet? Everyone does love BJ's.
I think you should ask me that just to say that.
It did gap down. Remember, I talked about those March puts, March
Yeah.
2023. I mean, it
Yeah.
gapped down, but I doubt those puts moved much. Did Target ever recover from their bad earnings? Not
Target's
really.
around the same.
Yeah. People love Walmart, though. The people of Walmart.
I got a Walmart long versus Target short money link. It's been doing very little in either direction, but I think if the market's to fall apart again, it's going to be Target's going to get just totally decimated.
I got the chat stirred up.
Yeah.
You know what has been moving is the dope, the good old dope stocks. Little.
Those are another ones I crossed off my screen just because there's such a pain train, right?
Because you got burned in the dope game.
A little bit, but that a while ago,
Yeah.
like a couple of years back. I was surprised people still pay attention to them.
Yeah, I only buy literally the weeklies on them. I'll never buy time just because.
Yeah,
A lot of them too get the damn pump and dumpers.
exactly.
You can't really hold on for them long. You gotta date them. Can't hold on to the canopy or the all
What
the
did you think
Canadian
of?
stocks too.
What did you? Let's look at the market for a second. Let's just look at. Let's look at
Pull
the
it up.
overall thing. All right.
We have a little gap down. I mean, nothing crazy, but a little gap
Are
down.
you seeing my screen?
No, not yet.
All right, hold on.
But we had a huge rally Friday off the sell off.
Yeah, they had that big, big jobs number, which was bearish at first take, but this is bullish, right? The market looks bullish at this point.
I think so too.
But it's got to clear. I mean, the SPY has to clear this level here. It has to break above that, and it doesn't look like it's going to today, anyways.
Not
this previous
today.
peak of September, right? It has to break above that. Otherwise, it's a sideways consolidation where I think it could bounce around. NASDAQ, let's look at NASDAQ here. But
NASDAQ's
clearly, like
holding
a
up.
strong move off the bottom. I mean,
Yeah, it basically retraced the whole sell-off from Friday, tagged it, and then faded
SPY
a little
looks
bit.
better than the NDX, right? SPY looks a bit better, in my opinion, than this one, the S&P. Mega cap tech still sucks. Is the problem.
Do you think we get a St. Nick Santa rally?
Yeah, I mean, like we're getting so much bullish news in the market, and it's done what it's done. What's gonna keep it going other than like window dressing?
China? No.
I mean, China, yeah, China's a story, but look at these Chinese stocks. Let's look at PDD. Look at what PDD.
That's the thing. Do you really want to buy the China?
This stock has doubled. This stock has doubled in a month since October. Since Halloween, the stock has doubled. Like, are you a buyer of PDD here? I mean, for what?
I'm a seller today.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Can you really like XPEV's up 50% in a couple days? Some of the China autos.
Yeah.
It's very, very hard to I mean, day trade, very short-term swing trade. But do you really want to go out and buy like January or February or March calls on them?
Yeah.
You're probably paying out the ass for implied volatility, but B, I mean, the China market's just so corrupt. When they move very aggressive, but when they don't, that's when you get burned pretty bad.
They do bizarre stuff every night, right? Like sometimes they manipulate the shit out of everything. So they manipulate margin, they manipulate stock loan, they manipulate everything. Like, and then they make up the rules as they go. Like, for instance, like they'll just say like, well, yesterday you were allowed to use like 3-to-1 leverage, and today it's 1-to-1, and they'll do it like that. Like, we have a much more gradual process in the United States. We have harsh shocks too, but not to the same degree. This is economic numbers this week. Nothing super. PPI
Yeah,
on Friday.
not
Slow
not
week.
much.
Kind of a slow week. Kind of a slow week. Gonna grind. It feels like, right? We've got crude is making a big move this morning. Crude
Crude
oil.
has the silver made a pretty big move last weweek. Was actually starting to like the metals, down a little bit today, 1%. But yeah, crude. But you know what gets me is
I like crude to test back up here. I really do. You get China back online. Saudis are looking at the price. They're basically the Fed put in reverse for oil. The thing dips below 80, they go ballistic. They don't want it down there.
I was at Costco. Gas was 280.
True. Well, there was a big gasoline in terms of relative to crude was overpriced for a while, especially
Yeah.
retail gas. Forget about it. But what were you saying, silver? Do you trade this SLV at all?
I usually do wheat and precious metals or Pan American silver or
Okay.
AG. It just SLV. It just usually doesn't move too much intraday. So PAAS, AG, uh, wheat and precious, WPM. When
SLV
they
looks
move, they
better.
move. Yeah.
SLV's got a better chart. Look at that. This thing is, but this thing could go. I mean, it hasn't moved that much.
Right. That's why I like the names. They usually move at a greater rate than the ETF.
What
It's
do you
just like
think
I don't.
about gold? Do you look at have you been looking at the GDX at all? It's weird.
That
I used to trade this thing all the time, but I haven't traded it in like a year. It's
same
had a nice
thing. I
move.
used to trade JNUG, GDX, GDXJ.
Yeah.
I'm starting to look at them again. Years ago, I used to trade it a lot,
But
but
what's
I felt
really
like,
weird, what's really
yeah,
weird, Lance, is the dollar has gotten a little bit weak, and that's been just like, it's not weird actually. It makes a lot of sense. Dollar strength has been bad for the precious metals, but then the dollar gets weak and these things just
they
explode.
rip.
They rip. They
Yeah, I
rip.
was looking at Barrick Gold. Remember that one?
Yep.
GOLD. They got what
Gold.
is it? Rand Gold they merged with. You know, I see if you look, yeah, there you go. If you look at it again, I haven't really traded these names in a while, and now I know why. Because look at the past few months.
Yeah, they've
There's
been
just
dead money. And well,
there's been yeah.
they had this like massive, if we go back further in time to the beginning of COVID, right? There
They
was
had
so much excitement when COVID
right.
started for these things. Remember? Like everybody was just going to have gold because you can't trust anything. And then the crash, and then the rip, and then the super crash. And it's just been there's been really like no direction other than violent mean reversion, which should say that there could be a violent mean reversion back higher if you
That,
think in those terms. We're back at the bottom of that range, right?
and that's what I was thinking going into the new year.
Yeah.
It's gold starts leading the way in
Yeah.
January,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, and then by mid to late January, retail people start thinking, oh, I need to buy gold. And
Right.
obviously you're already in ahead of time. That was kind of my logic for it
Right.
of some of the gold stocks out there.
Oh, I'm gonna start watching this now. I'm gonna
I
start watching it.
know you got to
Now it's
put
back on
gold.
my radar. From the
Yeah.
long side, to be clear, guys, bullish.
Yeah. So I'll type a few gold names.
Let me
I
share
like
it.
in the chat
Yeah.
GDX.
You want to look at some options and some stuff? Let's pull it up. Pull it
The
up.
options aren't that expensive, which is crazy. If you pull up implied volatility, it's not crazy yet. GDX gold, GDXJ, Newmont's horrible, but it's starting to move again. For gold, silver,
Let's look at Chan 20s.
SLV, WPM. Is it still WPM? Yeah, it's WPM. It used to be SLW.
Wow, that is cheap, dude. Look at this thing.
Yeah, right.
This
You
thing
can
is
even buy
trading at
in the money calls for
29.60.
cheap.
You can buy 30. You can buy. Are you kidding me? You can buy the 31 calls on this thing. Yeah, I mean, I think if this thing moves, it's going to move more than 10%.
That's my logic. Because some days when you see GDX move, it'll be up 3-4%.
That's
you
what I'm
know.
saying. When
And
people
then if
gotta have it, they gotta have it. It hasn't. I like it because it hasn't really come onto people's radar too much in
yeah,
terms of like
yeah.
the mass market. So could we trade back to like 36 in this thing? Why not?
I don't think that's out the question. Imagine if spot gold gets to
35
2,000
level.
again.
35 level. And if you buy these, I mean, that's a four bagger. I mean, we only have like a month and a half to get there, but
What are you in,
uh,
Jan monthly? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so you got
I mean,
what,
I'm saying a
46
20%
days?
move. I'm saying a 20% move in this thing in a month. I think it can happen in a
I
month
do
and a
too.
half, especially because of the new year phenomenon, like you said.
And you're gonna have spot gold. Spot gold's at 1,800 now. Let's say spot gold goes to 2,000.
Yeah.
I think that's possible.
It's weird. The market likes to have like these different themes that no one's seen coming, right? And just when this got like this, people started falling asleep on gold. It could come back in a big way, and then when it becomes 2000,
Then
then it
everyone
becomes a
hears it.
big self fulfilling prophecy, Lance, and then all the Johnny Come Lately gurus out there, the CNBC talking heads that should have been watching Crush the Open on December 5th are going to be like, I love gold at 2000.
And
You
then
know,
gold, you know what gold's gonna do right after?
it's going to squeeze for like 10 minutes, and then it's going to puke like crazy because we're going to be back at the top end of the range.
That's exactly how it works.
That's exactly how it works.
I,
That's
I
exactly.
posted in the chat some gold names, some silver names.
Oh, I see them.
Yeah, SLV is the silver ETF. GDX is the gold miners. GLD is the boring gold ETF.
SLV is if you've got just like ice in your veins and you really hate, you hate money. You don't care about it at all. Look at this. Look at this thing, dude. It moves like incredible.
Yeah.
The daily bars on this thing. The weird part about it is if you look at it, we've had much more long-term volatility, realized vol in tech stocks, but on a daily basis,
I know.
if you look at the daily range of this thing, these daily range bars are like, look, open, like from high to low every day, you have multiple like 3-4% every day. Easy. So,
I wonder what the holdings are of the silver futures, you know. That's
you'll
why I
see it
usually
right.
like the gold miners is they'll move at such a crazy rate to the price of spot gold, you know, that you can really get some intraday momentum on them too.
I like that. I like that. What else we got? It's kind of a slow week, man. I feel
It
like
is.
we're fishing harder than we normally have to, right?
Yeah, I was up this morning and I was looking at like the analyst upgrades, downgrades and stuff. I mean, there wasn't much at all. Like
Oh, I'll
I
give you
got
all a free trade that I have a thing today at 1 o'clock for those that want to watch it about my money
you got
flow
a
strategy.
thing.
Huh?
You got a thing?
I got a thing. Somebody post a link in the chat. But I do these trades at the beginning of the month on the third trading day of the month, which is today. And this is one of my names. I know it's crazy. It's up pre-market, even with the market getting
Oh yeah,
smoked.
I saw some calls in it Friday. I
Yeah.
couldn't the market makers went crazy. They were the weekly. I'll pull them up here. Hold on.
So
They
look
were
at this.
the weekly I think the weekly geez, it trades a lot of spreads. I didn't know that.
Look at this stock,
It
dude. They
was the
go
weekly
not
75s for a
yeah,
buck 30.
yeah,
But this was like 10 minutes before the close.
yeah.
I looked at the when I tried buying them and the bid ask was like 60 cents wide. They made it crazy. I was figuring because the Microsoft
Yeah, look at this.
buyout.
Check this. So this is the stock deal they announced. I mean, it's like it's been selling off since the announcement, and I'll show you that in a second because people don't think it's going to be actually completed. But
Right.
Microsoft came out in the past couple of days, and they're like, because the FTC, everybody's best friend, wanted to try to block it. We have an administration that's really anti a lot of shit, and Microsoft came out in the past couple of days and said, try to block it. We're going to fight you in court. We're going to make this deal happen. And so I believe that they're so horny for this stock. Means other people are too. Means it's cheap. Means it's underpriced, even by this $95 deal. You know
Well,
what I'm saying? You don't
yeah,
pour $100 million like they're going to have to, whatever they're going to have to, just fighting the government to try to get an acquisition, unless you think that this price is super fair and needs to be consummated. So I like the stock. I think you could trade a lot higher this month. That's a free
I
one
mean,
for everybody.
it traded at around 86,
Yeah,
86.90
when it was announced. When it
after
was
the initial
announced.
announcement. And
Yeah.
you know, it's crazy. I do my videos for best stocks of 2022. This was
Mhm.
actually one of my names out
Yeah.
there, and it only took what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get bought out. So if anyone obviously had
So this is
calls,
my money flow stock of the
yeah.
month, and I have nine stocks if you want to do money flow elite, just like this. I'm looking at like check this out. I'm looking at the first 2 trading days of the month, and just look at the volume and this thing breaking out. Check this out.
Well,
Just
I
going
think too they
break it down.
announced Battlefield or Call of Duty, some new video
Call of
game.
Duty. I've
Yeah,
got kids. All they want to do is like shoot each other virtually
ride in
online.
tanks and blow people up and
That's all they
stuff.
want for Christmas, dude. All my boys want for Christmas are these Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, these kind of games. And they just sit there like, back in the day, we used to like get in trouble with each other, like in real world, in real life, and just go out and like ride bikes around and do stuff like that. These kids, these kids are just hanging out at their
with
house with headphones on,
with the headphones and
with the
talking.
with a
Yeah,
headset,
full
shooting each.
send.
I
Yeah, yeah,
got you, bit. I just
yeah.
shot you, punk. Booyah, and screaming and screaming. And like my wife hates it, but it's like this is how they
It's
socialize.
how they. It's like teamwork. Instead of like, hey, you know, throw the football to me, I'm open, blah blah. Instead, it's like,
Basically.
hey, go in the back door and throw a grenade at fucking Johnny over there and blow him up and take the flag. You know,
Has to
it's
be
true.
long. You have to be long. You have to be long, in my opinion. So that's what we got today. I think we got a bunch of good stuff we covered. We gave free trades out. We gave them a nice precious metal look to take a
Some
look at.
medals.
Yeah, Lance and I aren't really soothsayers. We're not trying to like predict what the economy is going to be in 2024. I don't think anybody can really
I
know
don't
that.
care.
And
I
I
don't
don't
care
care
about
either.
anything like
I
that.
don't care. I think we're from the church of what's happening now. Let's try to make money right now, the next
I
30
mean,
days, whatever.
the crazy part is too, in the next 30 minutes, the market could rip higher or sell off. So if you know, obviously things can change like that. You know, that's the beauty in trading. You're not married to your positions like, oh, I need the S&P to go down 10% because I bought SPY puts and you know, till March of next year.
I mean, this is the thing, dude. I think I want people to really notice. I just put in the link to join if you don't know about Money Flow Elite, you can join it at 1 o'clock today. I hope you all noticed that Lance and I like to look at real life quotes in the options market, not back tested from 1986 or 2003 or something like that. We like to look at what's going on today. And
Today.
we like to talk a little bit on this show, even though we can, a little bit less like big macro view stuff, because it's just not what this show's about. We try to have a little bit more fun, a little bit more swagger, a little bit more action, a little more. What was that song? The Elvis Vegas song? A little more, a lot more action, less talk. I don't know. I forget what it is, but
Well, you know,
it's a good
Elvis
song.
had a lot of action apparently.
A little less talk and a lot more action. So I think on this show, we get to the action. We get to that business. And I heard about I heard about Lance trying to kill gators this weekend. And I was just looking at these like like completely over the top, ridiculously wealthy people buying shit that I will never understand and loving doing it. But let's go. Market's open.
All right, I gotta go.
Have a great
Peace.
week, y'all.
I got
We'll
to
be back.
trade.
Join me at 1 if you want to learn about Money Flow Elite. I'll put that link in there. And watch that GDX. They have really cheap options. And gold too, GOLD. Look at January's. All right. Bye-bye, y'all. Have a great day.